study of Taittiriya Upanishad, Yoga Darshanam, Mundaka Upanishad, Gita, Bhagavatam and Adhyatma Ramayanam. Let us try to connect through the Shastra, through the Guru Rishi Parampara to the absolute truth. Let the clarity of understanding come to our intellects very soon. May we be convinced about the Paramatma to be our ultimate to be achieved goal. May we start seriously, sincerely, with whatever capacities we are directing ourselves towards the worldliness. Let us, with the same capacities, put our efforts toward the truth or the spiritual unfoldment. Now, let us start our day with the chanting. Let us change the chanting today. We will do Vang Me Manasi Pratishtita. May my speech be established in the mind. Mano Me Vachi Pratishtitam. May my mind be established in the speech. Means they both be totally integrated, mind and speech. Same thing we are studying in our ninth Anuvaka also. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. So almost. So there it is. To the reality, these two won't reach. But here, coordination between the thought, word, and action is meant for our being honest and integrated, so that we are blessed by the totality and divinity. Then avihi ma edhi. Let the knowledge gained by us grow day by day. Vedasya ma ani istaha. Whatever I know, make me more and more subtler. Shrutam me ma prahasihi. What I am listening, let that knowledge should not leave me. Anena adhitena, with this spiritual knowledge of scriptures, ahoratran sandadhami. May I spend with full awareness day and night only in the awareness of spiritual knowledge, spiritual goal. Rutam vadishyami, I speak what is said in Shastra alone. Satyam vadishyami, I live life according to that only practically. Tan mam avatu, let that Omkara, let that Paramatma, let the truth protect me. Avatu Vaktaram, let the speaker also be protected. Avatu Vaktaram, Avatu Mam. So, two times said is to insist that the guidances coming to us be protected all the time. We, the ones who are receiving the guidances, also be protected, the Guru and disciple. That's the beauty of the mantra. Om Shanti Adi Bhautika Shanti Adi Daivika Shanti Adhyatmika. Three times let us chant. Om Vang Me Manasi Pratishtita Mano Me Vachi Pratishtitam Aviravirma Edhi Vedasya Maani Stha Shrutam Me Ma Prahasi Anenadhite Nahoratran Sandadhami ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवत्ववतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य माणिस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितमाविराविर्म इति वेदस्य माणिस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीरनेनाधीते नाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामृतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवत्ववतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि ॐ परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः श्री वेदव्यास वैशम्पायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्यशङ्करादिगुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः तेषां सर्वेषां गुरूणां देवतानां परब्रह्मणः श्रुतिमातुः अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दवसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण विश्वव्याप्तिद्वारा विश्व अध्यात्म प्रगतिद्वारा विश्वशान्ति कल्याण एकता प्राप्त्यर्थं ये ये भक्ताः अस्मिन् कार्ये निष्ठिताः तेषां सर्वेषां सदा सर्वदा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये दिग्विजयार्थं च अस्माकमपि आयुरारोग्यैश्वर्यक्षेमस्थैर्यादिप्राप्त्यर्थं च श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीयोपनिषदः पारायणम् आद्यशङ्करभाष्यसमेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रणीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते ॐ अथ शान्तिमन्त्रः शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावीत तद्वक्तारमावीत आवेन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली नवमोऽनुवाकः ॐ यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते अप्राप्य मनसा सह आनन्दं ब्रह्मणो विद्वान् न बिभेति कुतश्च नेति एतगं हवावन तपति किमहगं साधुना करवं किमहं पापमकरवमिति स य एवं विद्वानेते आत्मानग्गस्पृणुते उभेह्येवैष एते आत्मानग्गस्पृणुते य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषद ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. First thing we have seen in this ninth Anuvaka, which is said to be the essence. सर्वस्य एव अस्य प्रकरणस्य आनन्दवल्यर्थस्य संक्षेपतः प्रकाशनाय एषः मन्त्रः भवति. So for giving us the entire essence of the main meaning of this Anandavalli is this ninth Anuvaka, to be therefore studied carefully, thoroughly, and with full alertness of our subtly made intellect. Hmm. So the first shloka of these 3 or 4 shlokas, we have seen the meaning. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. So from this Brahman, the Vani and Mana, when they go there to know the Brahman, they fail and come back without knowing the Brahman. So by this, what is meant is, the Parabrahma is not the subject matter or object of the Indriyas and Antakarana. It is the subject behind all of them. So just because it cannot be object, it is not that it is not there. Just because it is there, therefore we should not try to understand it only through intellectual gymnastics, try to explain and get satisfied only through the vocal speech. So this is how we have to learn from it. Now in this, hmm, uh, what is the Parabrahma? Yasmat, when it is said, no, those 4 things are very essential to keep in mind. It is the essence what is to be caught regarding Parabrahma Tattva. What is it? Nirvikalpat, Yathokta Lakshanat, Advayat, Ananda Atmanaha. So Nirvikalpa is, there are no the Ishvara Jiva Adi Bheda in the absolute reality. If at all they are there, they are only projected. Second is what? Yathokta Lakshanatu. The 3 Lakshanas of Parabrahma said in the beginning only, that Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Please remember, these are the only 3 Lakshanas of Brahma, there is no fourth. Second point, these 3 Lakshanas of Brahma are applicable only to Brahma Tattva, nothing else. Everything other than Brahman is not Satyam, it is Asatyam. Not Jnapti Swarupam, it is Jadam. Not Anantam, it is Santam. And the meaning of these words was studied thoroughly by us in the beginning. So this is the second thing to be known about Parabrahma Tattva. First one is Nirvikalpa, second is Yathokta Lakshana, third one is Advaya. Like this of Satyam Jnanam Anantam natured, and also which is without alternative. How many things are like that? There cannot be 2 or many, ekam only. Therefore, advayatu. It is the advayam. Such Brahma Vastus are not one per the world, one per solar system, one per galaxy, or one per head. It is advaya. It is one common homogeneous thing everywhere. Fourth one is what? It is the Ananda Atma. Its Atma is Ananda. Ananda and it are not two. That Brahman alone, be attentive, Ananda Swarupa. That Ananda of the Brahman only experienced by us, reflected in the Antakarana whenever the outer situations are, or inner situations are conducive for us, which are created by our upasanas and our punya karma, our dharma karma, etc. So therefore, have we by hearted these 4 things? Nirvikalpa, Yathokta Lakshana, Advaya, Ananda Swarupa. Nirvikalpa means it is not having the Vikalpa inherently in it of Ishvara Jiva or Karya Karana or Samashti, Vyashti इत्यादि. ऐसे विकल्प नहीं है उसमें. यथोक्त लक्षण सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम. Advaya, such one is not one per head, one without second it is. And it is the Ananda Swarupa only. That itself is the Ananda. अब देखो आनंद कहीं से आ रहा है तो वो कुछ आनंद का स्वरूप होना चाहिए. Like when the tea and coffee are sweet, that sweetness should come from somewhere of which that sweetness is its swarupa, called as sugar. शुगर का स्वरूप ही मिठास है, sweetness. From that, wherever you are adding, it is becoming sweet. So to the Brahman is Ananda Swarupa. That is what is reflecting at different levels of Antakarana Vritti depending on situations. When totally the Vritti is in such a manner that it is not at all reflecting the Ananda, that is the situation where we experience the Dukkha. Narayan. Om, Om. So that can be kept in mind. Now, second one. After seeing this, ki vai aprapya manasa, why the aprapya manasa saha is said, never forget it, ki the vani and the mind, they function in coordination. If the thought vritti is not there, the vacha vani cannot utter. And if the utterance from the Vani is not there, then what thought vritti we have, it cannot be communicated. This Vani can be vocal outside, even the Manasika Madhyama Vani also. So, like a vritti of an object is made, a rose. That thought in the mind, that object's thought is named also as object rose. मतलब thought rose. There is an object of the rose का thought भी होता है. Then this is a rose. That thought also is there, which we express through Vaikhari, vicariously, through the mouth if required to communicate to others. Therefore, aprapya manasa saha. Both in coordination go, but both them fail and come. Here mana is Indra, one is Agni. When they went to see who is that Yaksha, they failed, they came back. Why? Because the Vani does the Pravartana, even the Antakarana, only the Savishesha Vishayas. Samsara Vyavaharika Vishayas. Parabrahma is Nirvishesha, we being Nirvyavahara, this Vani and the Mana who cannot reach it. Therefore, don't get satisfied at the Mana and Vani level when we are able to talk about, visualize about the Brahman. That is only Vrityatmaka Brahma, not Anubhavatmaka Brahma. That is only Shabdatmaka Brahma, not Anubhavatmaka Brahma. Therefore, all the Shabdas of the Vani along with Vani, all the Vrittis of the Mana along with Mana, when consciously transcended on the seat of Dhyana, then that Brahma Anubhuti directly, personally, it is as my own self that comes to us. That is why yachedvang manasi prajnah tadyached jnana atmani jnanamatmani mahati niyached tadyached shante atmani. See in that Katha Upanishad what is said in that way, it is said here like this. So yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Okay. So tasmat, now again same thing. Brahma prakashanaya sarvatha prayoktrubihi prayujyamanaha api vachaha yasmat apratyaya vishayat anavideyat adrishyadi visheshanat saha eva manasa vijnanena sarva prakasha samarthena nivartante tam brahmanah anandam श्रोत्रियस्य अवृजिनस्य अकामहतस्य सर्व एषणा विनिर्मुक्तस्य आत्मभूतं विषय विषयी संबंध विनिर्मुक्तं स्वाभाविकं नित्यं अविभक्तं परमानंदम ब्रह्मण विद्वान् यथोक्तेन विधिना न बिभेति कुतश्चन निमित्त अभावात्. This one paragraph, if you really thoroughly, deeply understand, not only the summary of what is discussed so far in Brahma Valli, but the main things to be known about The Brahma Tattva, Adhyatmic Sadhana, Bandha Moksha, all of them we come to know. A very beautiful way of putting by Bhagavan Adi Shankara. Same way he will again explain to us when we start the third Bhrigu in the beginning. We'll want to go through it even though we saw it yesterday, because this clarity gives lot of clarity. Clarity of matlab clear understanding of this para gives lot of clarity in our understanding. Now first, because of the limitations of the upadhi of the Vani and Vana, Brahma Prakashanaya means to know Brahman, illuminate Brahman, Sarvatha, by all means, Prayoktrubihi, those who employ or the engage, Prayuchimana api, when engaged and employed, Vachaha, the Vani, the speech, Yasmat, from that Brahman returns. What is that Brahman again said? Three times said it is. Mahavibhataya, four words of Nirvikalpa, Yatokta Lakshana, Advaya Ananda, here also said, later on also said. So, therefore, Brahma Anubhuti will be like this. To make it very clear in our heart, repeatedly, Bhagavan, Shankara Bhagavan is saying here in his Bhashya. So, which is that Brahma from where? By the Sarva Prayoktrubihi, means by all the people who are using Vani and mind, by all means, they fail and come back. Which is that Brahma? अंडरस्टूड नो ब्रह्म प्रकाशनाय मतलब ब्रह्म को जानने के लिए जनवाने के लिए सर्वथा मतलब सब प्रकार से प्रयोक्तृभिः उपयोग करने वालों के द्वारा प्रयुज्यमानाः अपि उपयोग किए जाने के बावजूद भी अपि वाचः शब्द वाणी यस्मात् जिस ब्रह्म से लौट के आता है बिना जाने. So what is that Brahma? One, apratyaya vishayat. It is not an object of thought. Pratyaya means thought. Pratyaya Visham is object of the thought. Apratyaya Vishayas means not an object of the thought. Apratyaya Vishayatu. Second, Anabhideyatu. Abhideya is the speech. Anabhideya is therefore not an object of the speech also. The Brahman. So then Adrushya Adi Visheshanatu. Adrushye Anatme Anirukte Anilayane. अदृश्य मीन्स व्हाट? दृश्य नहीं है, दृष्टा है, विकार रहित है. अनात्म मतलब नॉट स्थूल. देन अनिरुक्त मीन अगेन कैनॉट कम इनटू द purview of the words. Anilayane, which has no abode for it to stay, means there is no cause for it. It itself is the cause of everything. So in these words के द्वारा बताए जाने वाला ब्रह्मा. So first one apratyaya vishaya, second anavideya, third adrushyadi visheshanat. From that Brahman, saha eva manasa, vani, and also the mind. What is manasa? Vijnanena, whose job is to know the things, and that is sarva prakasha samarthena. This mana is intellect, adhakarana is so great it is samartha to prakasha, to illuminate, to make us know everything of the world, but not Brahman. From that Brahman nivartante. So Brahma Prakashanaya Sarvatha Prayoktribhi Prayujyamana api Vachaha Manasa Saha Nivartante. This is the main sentence. So in between, which is that Brahman? That is said in three sentences. What is the job of the Vani? Job of the Bana? That also is said. So the Vani's job is to talk. The mind's job is to have a knowledge. Then the Brahman doesn't come cannot be spoken by the Vani because it is not the object of Vani. Cannot be known by the Mana because it is not the object of the thought of the mind. And that Brahman is these three. कि अप्रत्यय विषय, अनविधेय एंड अदृश्यादि विशेषणात्. सो प्रत्यय का विषय नहीं होने वाला, वाणी के द्वारा बोले नहीं जाने वाला, अदृश्य अनात्म अनिरुक्त अनिलयन ऐसे विशेषण रखने वाला इस ब्रह्म को जानने के लिए सारे लोग मिलकर भी वाणी और मन को जितना भी प्रयोग करे, वो वाणी जो इतना बोल सकता है, वो मन जो सब कुछ जान सकता है, ये दोनों उस ब्रह्म को बिना जाने ही वापस आ जाते हैं. नो Sometimes when you talk in Hindi, it becomes more clear. It is our Indian language, our languages, not the national language, but official language. So, in this way, yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha is said. And summary we said in the beginning only. Even though the Guru communicates to us through the words, and even though he communicates through the words, the intellectual, thoughtful knowledge about the Brahman, yet what experience is having is different from the words and the thoughts which he is expressing. Other than the thought and word, there is no way to communication. Therefore, by receiving the communication in the form of thoughts and words, let us not be in the delusion that we have understood or gained the Brahman. Brahman is gained as an experience. It is not understood, and with that, the liberation cannot be gained by the intellect, nor by speaking about it, one can gain the liberation. That's the meaning of Nayamatma pravachanena labhyaha yato vacho nivartante na medhaya yataha manaha nivartate. देखो मेधया बहुना श्रुतेना, all that talk, this means every Upanishad puts the same but little different way. So there it is said Nayamatma pravachanena labhyaha na medhaya. Here it is said yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. But remember, doesn't mean it is not there. It is there, it alone is there everywhere. It is too subjective, it is too subtler. Therefore, you have to drop all the objects and grasp, then only the subjective subtle most. So much subjective that it can never be objective. So much subtle that it has no other cause than itself. That experience till we get, we have to drop all the gross and objective, and that experience comes as it is me. याद रखना ब्रह्म कभी ऑब्जेक्ट के रूप में, स्थूल या कोई वस्तु के रूप में अनुभव में नहीं आता. वो सब्जेक्ट के रूप में, अत्यंत सूक्ष्म, अति सूक्ष्म रूप में, उससे ज्यादा और सूक्ष्म नहीं, और अहम के रूप में. क्लियर? नो यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते अप्राप्य मनसा सह. नो द सेकंड पोर्शन ऑफ द फर्स्ट श्लोक इज व्हाट? आनंदम ब्रह्मणो विद्वान न बिभेति कुतश्चन. दिस इज द थिंग, लेट अस कैच नाउ. कि सर्व प्रकाश समर्थेन निवर्तन्ते तम बी अटेंड टू ब्रह्मण आनंदम, that ananda of the Brahma, okay, which is gained by which sadhaka? श्रोत्रियस्य अवरुजिनस्य अकामहतस्य. देखो इन तीनों साधनाओं को जीरो कर पाए या थोड़ा भी कर पाए, लेकिन ये तीनों ही उस आनंद ब्रह्म को जानने के लिए जरूर साधनाएं हैं. ये स्वीकृति हमें पहले करनी है. द एक्सेप्टेंस इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप ऑफ सक्सेस. That these are the three sadhanas to be done to achieve that Brahma Ananda. What are they? Shrotriya, undoubtedly through the study of the Upanishads, establishing the Brahma Astitva and his Swarupa Lakshana, and other than Brahman, nothing is real. The one who is thoroughly understood this, he is called a Shrotriya. And he is in Vyavahara. He is using all faculties. He is living in the common world like anyone. But he has deeply analyzed the Karya Karana Mimamsa, Drashta Drishya Mimamsa, etc., as guided by the Guru, that his intellect is not sold out to the mind and senses, perceptions of the duality, even though they are allowed to perceive. His intellect is intact to know that behind the perceived multitude, behind the name and form, what is there is that one Paramatma only. In that is very clearly convinced. So, behind so many appearances of waves, one water. Behind so many reflections of the sun, there is one sun. Those who are gross onlookers, they'll see so many reflected suns. They talk about so many waves. Is that so many reflected suns and so many waves, are they real or not? For Vyavahara to see, they are there. But when you go into the cause of them, the cause without which they don't exist, when you go to that cause level, it is one. For so many reflected moons or suns in the water, the cause is one sun only above. And the cause for so many seeming different sized waves, the cause is one water only. Is it not? When you look with the eyes will show many waves. When you talk with the mouth, you say so many waves. When you only are limited at the mind level of perception, yeah, the eyes are showing me so many waves. But intellect use kiya jaye, each wave, what is the substratum because of which it is there? When it is inquired, behind all waves, only one water is there. In the same way, the Indriyas, Mana, will show us the world of multiplicity of the Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, Bhavana and Vritti. Through Indriyas, Shabda, Sparsha, Ityadi, through the mind, the emotions, through the intellect, the thoughts or knowledge. But behind all of them, there is one Satyam Jnanam Anantam alone is there. He is thorough in this knowledge. There is no doubt whatsoever. He is called Shrotriya. Then second one is what? We have exhaustively dealt with this. Again we are repeating. Abrujinaha means he is neither doing papa nor punya. For him, punya also is a papa because that also gives phala to enjoy which we have to become a bhokta jiva. So avrujinaha means non-committer of the sin, the direct meaning. But then when we come to Vedanta sadhana of knowing Brahman, which is beyond all karma, karma phala ityadi, even punya also is papa. Try to catch it. Because it is also equally taking me away from my essential self, it is also equally making me to behave like a jiva, through pari. Compared to the papa phala dukkha, this punya may be giving the sukha at the indriya mana vritti level. In that way, that punya is better than papa. But punya is not our goal. Our goal is that Brahman, to experience which the jiva is the obstruction. The jiva bhava is maintained by the kartrutva, by the karma. Karma, whether it is papa or punya or dharma. That is why sarva dharman paritejya means sarva karmanam paritejya means punya papa. सारे जो अहंकारी जीव के धर्म है उसको छोड़ देगा तभी वो जीव अपने कर्तृत्व भोक्तृत्व से परे रहने वाला परमात्मा तत्व को he will be able to मामेकम शरणम व्रजा discover. So second is avrujinatva. Third is what? Akamaha tattva. That in the heart there is not even a sankalpa that there is something other than me. Because the moment the sankalpa of something other than me is entertained, that is enough for strengthening the duality. Definitely towards that or from that or because of that, some kamana will come. Akamahata. Kamana are two types, please. Like something when I like, I want it to come. And something I don't like, I want it to go away. Kamana works both. Like when I am sitting for food on dining table, that kamana, that rice or sabji or so anything should be served to me. Itna kamana hota hai. Now same rice and serving thing, food or sabji, after the stomach is filled, we say no, no, no. That also is kamana. Not wanting also is a kamana there. Because पेट भर गयो. पहले खाली था इसलिए चाहिए वाला कामना था. तो अकामहतः means same. Like न द्वेष्टि संप्रवृत्तानि न निवृत्तानि कांक्षे. That's why we said the word संकल्पा. Therefore कुछ चीज पाने का या कुछ चीज से दूर होने का. Both are kamana. Both are the ones which substantiate the presence of something other than me, which is ignorance. So, therefore, a person who is seeing the Brahman, which is one without second, he cannot have any sankalpa or kamana. So, too, any sankalpa and kamana is there, one is not said to be in Brahma Anubhuti. Therefore, to reach to that Ekameva Devam Brahma Anubhuti, kamana is equal to sankalpa regarding anything to be other than me that has to be rejected, which is a very deep sadhana, if one is understanding. See the world, but see as one's own self. Nothing is other than me because otherness is the karana for the kama, krodha, raga, dvesha, all dvandva durgunas. When the no otherness at all is there, then how can I have kamana or raga or dvesha? कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Therefore, now from this point, once for all, throughout life, you should understand that we are suffering because of the aberrations of the mind called Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Krodhadi. All of them are there as long as two things are there. Two are there at the level of Upadhi only. From the absolute level, there is one without second Brahman alone is there. Therefore, unless I discover intellectually the one without second Brahman and accept it as my own self, and from that standpoint reject the duality, even though it is perceived by the faculties, the negative qualities of kama, krodha, raga, dvesha will not go away. Without they going away, the samsara se mukti will not. This is a crux of this thing. If we can enter into our hearts, we are all continuously suffering the persecutions in the mind of the raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, shatru, mitra, bhaya, labha, hani. इतना ये सब मन का खेल है. And it will continue as long as the mind is not abiding in the knowledge that everything is oneself only and that is me. There is nothing other than me for me to be afraid. There is nothing other than me for me to desire. If other is there, you can't avoid desire for fear, then the fear demands the desire to go away from it. Endless will be the samsara thereafter. Therefore, the one who discovers this Brahman, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, which is Anidya Adreshyam Agrahayam Agotram, or here it is said as he Adrishyam Adrushya Anatmi Anirukti Anilayane, and discovering him to be Ananda Swarupa. What will happen to him? Through these sadhanas, please. Shrotriya, Avrujana, Kamatasya, and fourth one is added here. Shrotriya explained kiya humne. Avrujana we have spoken about. Akamata we have spoken. Fourth one is therefore sarva eshana virumuktasya. Even iota also is antakarana is not becoming chanchala because of any putra eshana, vitra eshana, loka eshana, or any type of eshanas. Eshana means longing. That longing looks for an opportunity and expresses as desire. The desire powerful forces us to act to fulfill that desire. That action gets the result and pushes us to involve in it as a bhokta or enjoyer. This is how the drama is going on for the jiva and binding him. Therefore, Shrotriya, Avrujina, Akamataha, Sarva Eshana Vinurmukta. Remember, ऐसी बात माता श्रुति कह रही मतलब it is possible. And she is blessing us if we really want to do sadhana and achieve that sthiti of Shrotriyatva, Avrujinatva, Akamatatva as well as Sarva Eshana Parityaga. With this, that Ananda Brahma is discovered. Reversely, if all these things are there, the jiva will be living life with the limitations of karma, karma phala, the Brahma anubhuti will not come. That connection clearly we have to understand. Of this Brahman, when one discovers this Ananda Swarupa Brahma, क्या होगा उनका? और एक बात बता रहे, सर्व एषणा विर्मुक्तस्य, then Atma Bhutam. Please remember, finally that Brahman should be subjectively realized as myself. We can never objectify the Brahman. Atmabhutam, then Vishaya Vishayi Sambandha Vinirmuktam. Dekho, in that Brahma, the Vishayi, I, the experiencer, Vishaya, the object experienced, that type of delusion is not there. Then Swabhavikam, it is by nature blissful. Satyam, Nityam, sorry, it is eternal. Avibhaktam, it cannot be differentiated into the Jiva Ishvara Ityadi difference. Parama Anandam, and there is no Ananda beyond it. That is the source of Ananda for everything. Brahmanaha, of that Brahman, Vidwan, the one who knows. How he knows? Yathoktena Vidina. Yathokta Vidhi means from the Guru listening right from the Sutra Vakya onwards. All these sadhanas of contemplation inquiry we have done so far. So the Sutra Vakya said ki Brahmavidapnoti Param. Then the Lakshana is told, Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Then the Upalabdhisthana is told. Then to reach to that Brahman in that Upalabdhisthana, The Brahma Pravesha is explained in the Hridaya. For the Pravesha of the Brahman, all of them should exist, no, first of all, for the Pravesha. Therefore, the Karya or the creation Shruti is spoken. Okay, the Srushti Shruti, Pravesha Shruti. Srushti Shruti means what? The creation of the whole world from Brahman. Pravesha Shruti is Brahman has entered. These two things spoken in this Upanishad and every Upanishad is only for us to reach to and apprehend our Brahma Anubhuti at the Upalabdhisthana called as Hridaya Guha. More than that, all this explanation, etc., has no other reality or purpose. Once you recognize that Brahman alone is there. There is no creation as if separate from him. There is no entry as if he is inside there. For whom? The one who has experienced everything. है ना, एक जगह से दूसरे जगह जाने वाले के लिए ट्रेन बस गाड़ी चाहिए पहुंचने के बाद we don't need, no? Same way, to experience the presence of Brahman in our heart, these prakriyas are taught. So, through these prakriyas, yathokta prakarena, the one who discovers that Brahman inside, na bhiveti kutaschana, then he will never have fear for any reason. Why? Nimitta abhavat. There is no cause called as sense of otherness, something other than me, which is a cause of fear because of the absence of that cause. The cause of fear is sense of otherness. That sense of otherness is gone away for the one who has discovered the Brahman in this way. Now remember, by the explanation of this Brahma Swarupa in so many ways here, what is said is what? In the absence of the knowledge of this Brahman in this particular form alone is Dvaita as well as Bhaya, they are created, which is called as samsara. फॉर एग्जाम्पल क्या है यहाँ कि विषय विषयी संबंध विनिर्मुक्तम. So Brahman is that one in whom the Vishaya Vishayi Sambandha is not there. Then only there is Ananda. What is the reverse of it? Wherever the Vishaya Vishayi Sambandha is there, it is not Brahma Swarupa, nor it is Ananda Swarupa, and there definitely will be the fear. So too, if it is said ki Atma Bhutam, if the Brahman is Atma Bhutam, then is Ananda, there is no fear. If it is not Atma Bhutam, if there is something Anatma, that means the Brahman is not realized, Ananda is not realized, the duality is there, therefore you can't avoid the fear. तो इतने लक्षण वाले ब्रह्म के बताने का अर्थ क्या हुआ? इन एक एक लक्षण ब्रह्म का जब हम साधते हैं या पाते हैं तो वी आर इन आनंद एंड भय राहित्य. These are the two things sought by the every heart, the bliss and fearlessness. Okay, then any of these things not satisfied, there will be duality leading not to the bliss but for misery, not to the fearlessness but to fear. So to the above things, ki, what is that? Ki nityam. When the discovery of Brahman is done as a nityam, then being eternal, it is blissful. Being eternal, it is no fear that it will be lost. If that nitya Brahman is not discovered, that means what? We are in the anitya only. Now, whenever it is anitya, how can it give us all the time happiness? One day it goes away, it gives dukkha. Therefore, it is giving dukkha, and because of anitya, there is a bhaya also, it will destroy one day. So, ब्रह्म के इन लक्षणों को बताते हुए इन लक्षण वाले ब्रह्म में ही आनंद as well as the fearlessness is there. If this Swarupa Lakshana Yukta Brahman is not found, then we will project the world which is having these all negative Lakshana, whose only purpose or the goal is to give us the Dukkha, not Ananda, and fear, Bhaya, not Bhayarahitya. And what a life when it is continuously full of miseries and fears. Is it worthy living? Life should be blissful and fearless. Never ever one can achieve these two stages of bliss and fearlessness unless one discovers this said Brahman in his own heart through the said processes and sadhanas. Okay? See, the processes are what is said in Taittiriya, the inquiry things. But inquiry to do, one has to be very alert, very introverted, very Shuddha Sattva Guni, single pointed. Those things are achieved when we do the sadhana and eliminate the obstructions. And what are the three sadhanas? These three. Even one more, fourth. When we become Shrotriya, when we become Avrujinaha, when we become Akamahata, all these three put together are proved in Sarva Eshana Parityaga. Such person will be able to come to the class, listen from beginning, where the Sutra Vakya is spoken, then Lakshana Vakya is spoken, then the Upalabdhisthana is spoken, and then through the Srushti Shruti and Pravesha Shruti, how to discover the Brahman in the heart is spoken, and that Brahman who is to be discovered in the heart, who is of these Lakshanas. Adrishe, Anatme, Anirukte, Anilayane, and then Avibhaktam, and he is free from that Karyakaranadi Dvandva. So all these type of Brahman in the heart, that one person alone can discover, who has become qualified, freed himself from through these four sadhanas of Shrotriya, Abhurujinatva, Akamatva, Sarva Eshana Paritya. So for where the sadhana starts? From this Shrotriya, Avrujina, Akamata, Sarveshana, Parityaga. When that is done, what is the status of the heart? Absolutely pure. To that pure-hearted disciple, the Guru says the things, the Sarupa Lakshana of the Brahman, before that Sutra Vakya, Brahmavida Apnodi Param. This such a sadhaka, because his antakarana is so perfect free, he will be able to receive and do. Receive whatever Guru is giving the knowledge, do whatever sadhana told by the Guru. To such disciple, they reaching to the cave of heart and discovering that Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma becomes obstructionless, without delay. Quickly it happens. And those who are in Ashanas, they don't even go to the class, forget about listening, understanding, doing sadhana, and reaching. So, in this way, with that subtle intellect in a calm and quiet place for half an hour, this type of bhashyas have to be repeatedly contemplated, with the meaning of every sentence, so that the clarity comes. Then apply it on myself. Like, now I am suffering as Jiva, not having the fearlessness or bliss, because I have not discovered the Brahman of these Lakshanas. Why? Because I have never followed the Pravesha Shruti and Srushti Shruti. Why? Because I never reached to the Guru only. Why? I am lost in the samsara. Why? I am not Shrotriya, I am not Avrujina, Vrijinavan I am full Kamahataha, and lot of Aishnas are in me. I have to apply it on myself. Then again reverse sadhana. Therefore, unless I come out of the Aishanas, come out of that Vrujinatva and Kamatatva, and thoroughly study the Shrotri Bano, Shruti Padkar Guru ke paas, I will not be stable in my mind. Unless the stability comes to me, I cannot start the sadhana start by the Guru, ki the the Mula Vakya, Sutra Vakya, and then what I said later on, those things I cannot do. ऐसे बार बार मन में लाते हुए एक एक स्टेप को जो कांकर करना होता है, that's called as conscious sadhana, that's called as conscious evolution. To such a purified hearted, he, as and when doing sadhana, he knows that he is doing sadhana, he also sees the consequence of it in his heart. For you and I, so many vasanas, we are doing sadhana, but we don't know we are growing, because the Bhagavan hides it for the time being, because not very pure hearted. Anything given, we have a lot of tendencies to misuse them. इसलिए भगवान बताते हैं. But for a pure hearted person, there is no other goal other than Paramatma. As he is doing sadhana, he knows the progress also. By the way, it is not a part of the Bhashyam, we are just adding. So, what is that? Anandam Brahmano Vidwan Nabivedi Kutaschaneti. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. That is one complete sentence we have explained, that the Vani Mana failed to reach. What are the reasons? We saw. Second line, Anandam Brahmano Vidwan Nabivedi Kutaschaneti. The one who knows the Brahman and Brahma Ananda as himself, he can be free from all the fear. In this way, the Bhashyakara could have said in one sentence and left. If he does so, he would have not been the Alayam Karunalayam. Why is called as Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam? Because the most crucial important junction, he takes all the pains and puts all efforts to give all details so that we don't miss anything. Example is this one. See the flow, little Sanskrit, if you know, you will enjoy the flow of the commentary. Ki tasmat brahma prakashanaya sarvatha prayoktrubihi prayujyamanaha api vachaha yasmat apratya vishayat anabhideyat adushyadi visheshanat saha eva manasa vijnanena sarva prakasha samartena nivartante tam brahmana anandam श्रोत्रियस्य अवृजिनस्य अकामहतस्य सर्व एषणा विनिर्मुक्तस्य आत्मभूतं विषय विषयी संबंध विनिर्मुक्तं स्वाभाविकं नित्यं अविभक्तं परम आनंदम ब्रह्मणः विद्वान यथोक्तेन विधिना न बिभेति कुतश्चन निमित्त अभावात्. I am so much fascinated by this explanation. It shows how crystal clear are the thought flow of him. So here, all these things, कि आत्म भूतम विषय विषयी संबंध विनिर्मुक्तम स्वाभाविकम नित्यम अविभक्तम, these are all the adjectives of the Ananda. So the one through dropping these three the one who is qualified through these three of Shrotriya, Avrujina, Akamahata, and the one who has proved them in the Sarveshana, Tyaga, and the one in the Yathokta Prakara, in the place where the Brahman has to be discovered, he has discovered. Such one is the discoverer of the Brahman, and the sign of discovery of him is the Ananda, not reflected but Swarupa. That Ananda is of what type? This type. Atma Bhutam, not Anatma reflected. Vishaya Vishayi Sambandha Vinirmuktam, not a subject object dependent. So Abhavikam, not coming from the outer source but is inside. Nityam, not conditional created, therefore not Anityam, it is Nityam. Avibhaktam, it is not broken into pieces. So then Parama Anandam, it is the extreme ultimate, there is nothing beyond. Such Anandam is of that Brahman. And there are two things, Brahman and iska Ananda. Like मैं मेरी खुशी, ऐसा नहीं है. Brahman himself Ananda Swarup. See how many Visheshanas of Brahma Ananda are added here for the clarity. So the portion 1 are 3 plus 1, these sadhanas. Portion 2 is going to the Guru and following the entire sequence from 1 till the last step, in which the Brahman is discovered. Brahman is discovered to be Adrishya, Anatmya, Anirukte, Anilene, as well as Satyajnana Anantam. That discovery of Brahman is experienced as what? Ananda. Which type of Ananda? Not the Vishay, not the Anitya Ananda, not the Vibhakta Ananda, not the Anatma Ananda. It is Atma Bhutam, Avivaktam, Vishaya Vishay Sambandha Rahitam, so too it is Nityam and it is Paramananda. Uske badhar aur koi nahi hai. That we have to seek for it. That Ananda of the Brahman Vidwan. Such person na bibheti kutaschana. He will not be afraid of anything because that Brahman is one without second. How can there be the fear? Because nimitta hi nahi hai. Here nimitta abhavatar, all the above things we have to say. First, from the Brahma standpoint, what is the nimitta which is not there? Because of which there is no fear. Dvaita ही नहीं है, क्योंकि द्वैत है तो ही fear होता है. Basic is that. Then the other things are what? कि परमानंद मिला है उनको, therefore भय क्यों होगा? परमानंद नहीं मिला वाला बंदा उसको पाने की कोशिश में मिलेगा कि नहीं कि भय होगा उनको. So to आनंद, if it is vibhakta, there is fear. If it is anityam, there is fear. If it is not swabhavikam, there is fear. If it is Vishaya Sambandha Yukta, it is fear. When it is from the outer source, there is fear. Fear always of whether it will come or not. Therefore, Dvaitarahitya is one reason for fearlessness, and that Ananda Brahman is of these lakshanas. Therefore, there is no fear in him. Therefore, na bibheti kutaschana. So Ekamevadya Brahma discovered. Therefore, there is no thing other than Brahma. Therefore, the sense of otherness, which is the cause of fear, is absent. Therefore, fear is not. Second is the Ananda of the Brahma, which is Atma now, is of these Lakshana Guna, in the absence of which there would have been the fear or other limitations of the Vrittis. But these Lakshana Yukta Brahma will not have any chance given for any type of fear. Therefore, Kutaschana na vibhet. किसी कारण से वो भय नहीं पाएगा. Other than that, there is a bhaya only. Now, how many times this particular para has to be repeatedly studied for not only understanding at the time of study, but retaining it as a memory and reveling in all that till what sadhana, therefore, you and as jiva to get moksha have to do, that should become very clear and we start doing it. Now you understood now how our antakarana has to be with love, with full dedication, with single pointedness, with subtlety, has to listen to Shastra to understand what are the details of the Shastra and how they are glorious than anything. है ना, शास्त्र के विषयों को समझना, उनके महिमा को भी समझना है, तो कितना हमारा अंतकरण शुद्ध एकाग्र प्रेम युक्त होकर सुनना चाहिए. And where is this Upanishad? It is talking about the Paramananda of the Brahma Swarupa along with the final moksha and what we are living in this world with our upadhis, running behind the objects, etc., misguided by all the ignorant people. Now relate with this with our Katha Upanishad and Mundaka Upanishad mantras. Avidyaya mantare bahuda vartamanaha swayam dhiraha panditam manyamanaha dandramyamanaha paryanti moodhaha antenaiva niyamana yathandaha na samparaya pratibhati balam है ना प्रेयो हि धीरो हि श्रेयो हि धीरो हि प्रेयो अभिप्रेयसो वृणीते प्रेयो मंदो योगक्षेमात् वृणीते. If you can remember those mantras with the meaning and relate to it, you can enjoy how each of the rishi in each of the Upanishad is only talking or saying those things to complete the journey and then reaching the infinitude for every sadhak. The Kripa and Karuna of the rishis we can see. The greatness, grandness of the Shruti, the Vedanta we can see. Then we'll find an outcome or come out, sorry, how to come out of the samsara of all limitations and enter into that infinite blissful state that also is indicated to us. The sadhana also indicated for it. What more we want, Batao? But the point is again, like the medicine is so clear in the medical book. But I, when study other than language, I don't know anything, English words. Because in that way of medical science, I have not equipped myself. See, if I am not equipped, therefore I am not understanding medicine or medical book, it's not the fault either of the medicine or the book or the author. But when I study that book for a year or two with the medical dictionary, I become familiar with it. Is it not? Same way, if I have not prepared my whole life to study the Upanishad and think that language, and therefore I am not understanding the truth or reality, is it a fault of the rishis? Is it the fault of the Shruti Mata? Is it the fault of the Guru? It is ours. But now, as we are being regular and getting equipped, we are understanding. The more we are understanding, the more the beauty, the divinity, the utility, the glory of the Shruti Mata we are able to grasp. Then that intellectual satisfaction and appreciating Shruti Mata will not give us moksha. Moksha will come only when we follow what is said by Shruti Mata verbatim, the sadhana, and discover that Anandam Brahmano Vidwan. Then only Nabibheti Kutascha Neti. There is no fear or any other samsara. Wonderful, this portion of this ninth Anuvakas Bhashyam. That is why it is said as the summary of everything. And don't you feel it? What we have done, उस सबका पाठ पढ़ाई हमने किया. अब ब्रह्मवल्ली अराउंड फ्रॉम लास्ट 5-6 months उसका एसेंस हमको मिल रहा है. न विभेति कुतश्च नेति भाई निमित्त अभावात. अब डरने के लिए, डराने के लिए, समथिंग शुड बी देयर अदर देन मी, और आई माई सेल्फ शुड बी लिमिटेड. Is it not? और आई मस्ट बी इग्नोरेंट, ऑल कुछ भी कंडीशन या चांस ही नहीं है जिसके कारण हमको भय मिल सकता है। Therefore, निमित्त अभावात न बिभेति। Now, as I told yesterday, bhaya includes all other emotions with which we suffer. काम, क्रोध, राग, द्वेष, देन लाभ, हानि, जर, पराजय, ये सारे मन के वृत्तियां भय के आधार पर होते हैं। तो इफ द भय वन वर्ड इज सेड, यू हैव टू इंक्लूड ऑल अदर। therefore न बिभेति कुतश्चन मीन्स नो फियर, मीन्स none of all those misery giving dukkha giving any type of emotions will be there in that brahma anubhota jivan mukta. Clear? Now, nahi tasmad vidushah anyad vastu antaram asti bhinnam yatah bibheti. Now, why the bibheti is not there? Why he doesn't fear? Nimitta abhavat. So, what is the meaning of that nimitta abhava? Bhashyakara is telling कि nahi tasmat vidushah anyat. For that vidusha, for other than himself, anyat vastu antaram asti bhinnam. There is no object other than him to him. Yataha viveti. If at all that were there, he would have become frightened. You would look at the entire world of names and forms. Yeah. Look at the substratum. Yeah. See that substratum is 1/3 second. Yeah. Then know that substratum to yourself. Yes. Therefore, who are you? I am that substratum of the entire universe 1/3 second. So, is there anything other than you? No chance. Then is there any chance for fear? Not at all. Therefore, nabimeti kutaschana. वस्तु अंतर अभावात भिन्नम यतः विवेति नहीं तस्माद् विदिशः अन्यत् वस्तु अंतरम अस्ति भिन्नम यतः विवेति. So again reverse thing. Therefore, as long as because of the ignorance of ekamevadvayam brahma, when we project the world of otherness and give reality to it along with kama krodadi, we are also in bhaya adi dukkha also. Choice apna hai. And you cannot alternate this fact, whether you practice or not. Till I discover oneness with that Brahman, and that Brahman is one without second experience comes, I can never be free from the desire, etc., and fear, etc. Because only the Brahma Sthiti there is oneness. Little bit lower from Brahman we come, the duality starts operating. At the operational level of duality, nothing but dukkha and nothing but bhaya. Therefore, you and I or anyone in the universe suffer only two things because dukkha and bhayam. They can never go away as long as one doesn't discover one without second Brahma Swarupa Anubhava. And here the Shruti Mata is systematically guiding us. Guru guides us. We have to follow that thing. So intellectual knowledge कितना भी रखो पर ब्रह्म का अनुभव नहीं हुआ तो एकता का अनुभव नहीं हुआ तो अनेकता का परसेप्शन हो रहा है तो the fear and dukkha will be there. That's why with everybody around us we have the misery, we have the dukkha. Whenever we were happy, either we have forgotten that person or we found oneness with that person. Is it not? In all other cases, when the remembrance of the person is there, not forgetfulness, and sense of otherness is there, there is either dukkha or bhaya. That's what we see the people and suffer, see the objects and suffer. Discover that one without second Brahman, which is the cause of the entire universe, as myself, then there's nothing other than me. Then who can frighten me? Nobody is there. Who can make me miserable? There's nobody. See, Anandam and Bhayarahityam. Anandam Brahmano Vidvan na Viveti Kutascha. So therefore the goals are Prapti of the Parama Ananda, permanent Ananda. Therefore the Bhayarahitya permanently. Two in one. Both are gained when we discover that substratum Brahman Yoveda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. That is the meaning of Ashtute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipashita, means that Parama Ananda you will get. One thing is sin. Now, listen carefully. Avidyaya yada ut aram antaram kurute. Because of not knowing that one without second Brahman as myself, which is called avidya, ut aram. Just for whatever reason, aram, even a micro also, antaram, the differentiation, separation, duality, kurute, if we project or propagate or accept it, then atatasya bhayam bhavati iti uktam. then he will definitely have fear. That is said. So he is reminding to us and telling us why the aram antaram is said by the Shruti Mata. The meaning is what? Even slightest also of the antaram, the difference is created, immediately bhayam bhavati, dukkham bhavati. That's why, two people, as long as they are gelling as one for any reasons, stupid reasons also they can be. दोनों चोर है, दोनों terrorist है, दोनों घोटाले में एक है. As long as that oneness is there is no fear in them, there is no misery because of each other. But for any reason, even a slightest suspicion or doubt comes, which leads to the separation, you can never avoid the fear and dukkha. हल्का सा डाउट आ गए बस, like you are coming to classes regularly full with ekata with me, the text and all, therefore there is no fear in you that regard. But किसने दिमाग में डाला या आपके दिमाग में आया, मानो कि this swami is good for nothing, useless, even little it can come, आ गया, there you can never, you may come to class but you will never listen, you can never be nischala in your mind, you are not listening to the subject, forget. You cannot, because थोड़ा अंतर आ गया, little bit gap, you can never maintain that oneness of the peace of the happiness. And till that patch up happens by removing the cause. But this is samsara. This way, the cause for oneness comes, cause for the manyness comes, and when the oneness cause comes, we become together. When the manyness cause comes, we become separated. This wretched samsara of becoming together and becoming one will completely go away with the whole universe when we discover one without second Brahman. बिकॉज वो ब्रह्म अनुभव में और कोई दूसरा बंदा नहीं है जिससे हम एक बन रहे हैं, अनेक बन रहे हैं बिकॉज ऑफ इमोशनल और इंटेलेक्चुअल और अदर नॉनसेंस. I give the example only to prove little bheda is there is samasya. Now here bheda with what? With Brahman. I am something other than Brahman. The moment I say, the whole world also correspondingly seen as other than me and the Brahman, then with that word, the desire will come, it will never be fulfilled, the misery will come. Because the other people are there, more powerful, etc. than me, therefore the fear will come. Bhaya or dukkha will continue. Simple thing is, I am Brahman, which is one without second. That Brahman is there everywhere. There is nothing other than Brahman. Therefore, there is no reason of misery. There is no reason of fear. And this is not a word. This is not a sentence. This is not an explanation. This is the deep experience. That is the Jivan Mukta. And we have to seek that eternal experience, that immutable experience, that birth, death, change, less experience. That I am Brahman. Now, as long as we go on studying Shastra, so long this knowledge and pakkaness about the Brahman being the goal goes on becoming stronger. That is the main thing. Whether we come to class 5 year, 10 year, 20 year, only in the Brahma Prapti there is moksha Shastra Rupena for the conviction of this only. Once this is done, then all will fall in right place. The Viveka, Vairagya, the Shama, the Satka Sampada, Nitya Nirantara Shravana Manana regarding the Brahma Tattva, Vicharana, ये सब अपने आप होने लगते हैं when we firmly decide that Brahman alone is worthy of realizing for the moksha, for the infinite Paramananda. बस इतने बात समझ में आ गए ना तो हमारा सत्संग सफल हो रहे. Or other way around, 20, 30, 40 years we are with the Guru, we are studying Shastra, still something of the world is goal for us, then all our listening is wasted. Because when you take something of the world as goal, you have given reality to the world, reality to the duality, then the whole thing will create all the karma phala, all sorts of nonsense will continue. So may the Lord bless us with this vision that Brahma Anubhava alone is the moksha hetu. May we seek only that through all our sadhana throughout the day. Let us be only sadhaka. There is no more samsara in us. Samsara is he because of ignorance that Brahma Prapti is a moksha, takes the world Prapti as the giver of sukha, therefore goes on running in the world of things and being situation, one after the other relentlessly, only getting disappointed toward the end. He is called samsara. सो अविद्यया यदा उत अरम अंतरम कुरुते अथ तस्य भयं भवति इति हि उक्तम्. This is for the avidwan. But what about the vidwan? Vidushaha cha. But for the vidwan, avidya karyasya taimirika drushta dvitiya chandраvat nashat. Avidya along with Kam, it's result of Dvaita. Both of them destroy हो गया विद्वान को, because it is called one without second Brahma. Example is Taimirika Dvitiya Chandra Nashavat. So he had a cataract, therefore in 2 moons were seen. The eye is operated, the second moon gone away. So the one who has got eye defect and seeing the 2 moons is a person who has got avidya and who is seeing Dvaita Jagat. And the one who got operated, therefore 1 moon is seeing he who got the vidya, therefore he found one without second Brahman. For such person, this Taimirika Dushta Dvitiya Chandravat Nashat Bhaya Nimittasya भय निमित्त का नहीं होने के कारण न विभेति कुतश्चन इति युज्यते. Therefore he will never be afraid of anything. Saying this is absolutely perfect. Okay, this much is the beauty of this Bhashyam. Now comes one small paragraph where the same sentence came in the fourth Anuvaka also. When the Manomaya Kosha was explained. So, after Pranamaya Kosha was explained, after Manomaya was explained, Tadapyesha Sloko Bhavati came. There is a sloka in Rigveda mantra corresponding to the Yajurveda Brahmana, which has spoken about the mind. तस्येजुरेव शिरः ऋग् दक्षिण पक्षः सामोत्तर पक्षः योह आत्मा अथर्वांगिरस पुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति. That time the same mantra came. What was there? यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते अप्राप्य मनसा सह आनंदं ब्रह्मणो विद्वान्. Only difference there and here is there न बिभेति कदाचनेति. Then tasmadva etasmat manomayat anyantara atma vijnanamaya tenaisha purnaha sava esha purushavida eva anya purushavidatam anmayam purushavidah तस्य श्रद्धैव शिरः ऋतं दक्षिणपक्षः सत्यमुत्तरपक्षः योग आत्मा महपुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा. अगेन तदप्येष श्लोको भवति. विज्ञानं यज्ञं तनुते कर्माणि तनुपेति च विज्ञानं देवाः सर्वे ब्रह्मज्येष्ठ उपासते. विज्ञानं ब्रह्म चेत् वेद तस्मात् चेन्न प्रमाद्यति शरीरे पाप्मनो हित्वा सर्वान् कामान् समश्नुत इति. तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा पूर्वस्य. याद है? Beautiful. So in the fourth, yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Here also same sentence, but there ananda brahmano vidvan naviveti kadachaneti. Here naviveti kutaschaneti. So what is the small difference between that and this? Tomorrow we will see. Then we enter into the next beautiful topic. Never miss it tomorrow. Wherein most important topic of the two things when we have at the end of our life in our heart, with those two things present, we can come to a conclusion that the entire life of ours is wasted. If the opposite of these two things are achieved toward the end of life, even few minutes before the end of life also, the life is fulfilled. And what are those two things? Is a very crucial topic. We'll study tomorrow. Etagam bhavana tavati kimahagam sadhana karavam kimaham pavama karavamiti. Very powerful topic it is. Don't miss. Let's enjoy tomorrow. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. ब्रह्मर्षिभ्यो नमः परब्रह्मणे नमः ऋतुमात्रे नमः वेदव्यासफाने आज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकरादिगुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Join in 2 minutes for yoga darshan study.